In 2020, the global pandemic changed the world, and New Bedford Cable Network had to change with it.
At the start of the year, COVID wasn't a huge concern, and we covered our normal events such as the inauguration of city officials, our annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration events, exciting new projects for our city like planning for rail and the urban renewal mapping plan, both of which invited the community into the process. City council and school committee meetings, zoning and planning board meetings were covered in our normal fashion. High school sports continued as usual, going live on Facebook with a full crew, utilizing 3 cameras in our production van and 2 announcers for play-by-play action.
Oh, he scored! Eberingville almost had it, but Medeiros finds it back on the net again.
Before the shutdown, members of the public were coming in to use our studios to record their shows, borrowing equipment for field productions, and utilizing our video editing suites to piece it all together. New Bedford Public Access had just completed a training course, and we were in the process of offering a more advanced training course, teaching motion graphics and After Effects.
We were also excited to premiere Focus on Learning, a documentary-style program which highlights teachers and programs within the New Bedford Public School system. But when COVID hit, the focus changed.
The virus is coming, if it's not already here. While there has yet to be a confirmed case in Greater New Bedford, we should not be fooled. As has been widely chronicled, the limited number of test kits in the United States has inhibited the ability of the medical community to determine with confidence who has been infected.
The City of New Bedford recently announced 2 southeastern Massachusetts regional care centers for those recovering from COVID-19. These care centers are located in former nursing homes at 1123 Rockdale Avenue and 4586 Acushnet Avenue and are essential in minimizing the burden that the virus is putting on the local healthcare system.
Thanks to Zoom, Nbcn resumed coverage of City Council, School Committee, Zoning and Planning Board meetings. The look and feel of them had changed, but the content was still able to get out to our viewers. Some of our studio shows continued with a socially distanced set.
I guess legally, does the legislature have to pass a full budget for the year?
Eventually you have to.
Yeah.
You have to pass a full budget, or an official full budget for the year. Has to be a balanced budget.
We are definitely in a crisis situation. There's no doubt about it. And so there's a lot of familiarity, I guess, with what happens during a crisis. You know, people are under stress. A lot of people go into fight or flight mode, get very anxious. So that all feels very familiar to me.
We reached that benchmark about a month ago of just about 10% of the population have been tested now. I think we're just over 12,000 tests have been administered, I believe, within the city, somewhere in that range. And so that's a much better place than we were 3 months ago when we were just over 1%.
Other shows utilized Zoom.
Do you feel that on Election Day we will know the results with all the different ways that voters have been able to vote, and given the challenges around COVID, do you think we will know the results?
I think it's hard to say. You know, I think that what is important here is that there are so many people that are interested and willing in participating. I think that this is the evidence. This is the proof that when you make voting easy, people will participate.
While some preferred to be on location.
We're downtown New Bedford at Custom Square. I'm here with Pastor Eric Dorman. And Pastor, if you wouldn't mind telling everyone a little bit about yourself. I can probably undo your mask for the show.
Well, thank
you will
you.
be okay.
Thank you. Well, I am Pastor Eric Dorman. I'm from the Lakeville Family Worship Center in Lakeville, Mass. But I live in New Bedford. And it was in February of this year that you asked me to be a chaplain at the downtown station, and it was my honor to accept that appointment. And so it's been a blessing just to be a part of the chaplaincy.
Hi, I'm Melissa, an educator with New Bedford Parks Recreation and Beaches Full Steam Ahead program. Today we're going to explore the wetlands here at Brooklawn Park. So a snag is a dead tree that's full of life because birds, squirrels, raccoons, foxes, and bats can live in a snag in the holes that they provide.
New shows were being born during COVID as well, such as New Bedford Creative.
The New Bedford Art Museum Artworks has another major project here. Can you tell us about the Creative Courts project that you completed last year?
Absolutely. So here at Klasky Common, we have a beautiful mural that's actually on the surface of the basketball court. This particular mural is called Courting the Sky, and it was done by Maria Molteni and the New Craft Artists in Action. And they are an amazing team. And so Maria worked with different children from the neighborhood and also through our Artmobile program.
In partnership with the local Chamber of Commerce, the Mayor's annual State of the City address was live streamed on Facebook from our studios in August.
In more ordinary years, I come before you to report on the city's progress on a host of fronts, ranging from school performance to fisheries regulations to municipal health care. We cover many topics. But this year is no ordinary year. Since March, our attention has been consumed by a public health crisis the likes of which the world has not faced in a century.
It wasn't much of a beach day on Tuesday, August 4th, 2020, as the remnants of Tropical Storm Isaias blew through the whaling city, knocking down tree limbs and causing power outages. But that same storm brought an unexpected guest, the Mayflower II. The iconic ship was on its way home to Plymouth after undergoing a 3-year, $11 million restoration in Connecticut when the storm caused an emergency detour. Bedford's protected harbor is well known as a safe haven for vessels in stormy weather, and the city was thrilled to welcome her. Due to the current situation with COVID-19, no on-board tours were allowed, but Captain Whit Perry was more than happy to talk to New Bedford Cable Network about the beloved ship's restoration and homecoming. Hi, Jim Marshall of the New Bedford Cable Network, and we're here in Carver along a busy Route 58 to talk about the cranberry industry at Deacon's Cranberry Product Company. Today, we'll learn about the cranberry industry, the process of harvesting cranberries, and of course, what you see on the table during the holidays. We'll meet some of the team, including grower and co-owner John Deacus, who will talk about the history of the industry and his company. Local grower and bog operator Scott Hanula, who will explain the process of growing and harvesting cranberries, and Keith Benoit, who will address the business side of things and discuss its future.
Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Toy Box. I'm Kevin and I'm here with
Matt.
All right, and today we're going to be talking about G.I. Joes.
Hey there, movie fans. It's time for another virtual edition of your favorite movie game show, Real Smart. In the house.
Hello and welcome to Real Smart. I'm your host, Starry Night. Can you name the villain from these animated movies? I'll name the movie and then 4 villains. You pick the one from this movie, the movie named. Ready? Who was the criminal mastermind in Cars 2? Finn McMissile? Sir Miles Axelrod? Francesco Bernoulli?
Time's up.
Mr. Miles Axelrod.
The challenge was to continue public access when the public didn't have access to the building or equipment. Our mantra was keep communicating and keep creating. The public was taught via telephone on how to download and use Zoom and use their cell phones to produce new shows.
I actually learned about the fashion blogging community in like the later 2000s. It's a community that's existed since like the early 2000s.
She's got her knee right over her instep, right over her heel, and she's just going to crunch up. Beautiful. She can keep her hands anywhere she wants, behind her head, in front of her, wherever you're comfortable.
I felt led by the Holy Spirit to create a service or a program to inspire you. But sometimes, like a best friend, share things with you that you may not want to hear, but you need to hear.
Today's guest is Dr. Kristen Lee. She's returning. Known as Dr. Chris, she's the lead faculty for behavioral sciences at Northeastern University. Chris is the past winner of the Next Generation Indie Book Awards, Motivational Book of the Year 2015.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlene Rocha Arruda, the Public Access Director here at New Bedford Cable Network, and I am so excited today to be talking with one of our community producers, a longtime community producer, Ms. Jeannie Costa. Hi, Jeannie.
Hey, Charlene. How you doing? I'm glad to be here with you today.
Oh, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So you have been with New Bedford Public Access for quite a while and making videos for quite a long while too. So tell me, how long have you been doing this and what got you started?
Well, I want to say I've been coming to cable access or going down to cable access for at least 12 years or maybe a little bit more.
The pandemic forced the creation of new public service announcements. So we partnered with South Coast Health to produce several COVID-related PSAs in 3 languages.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Hackner, Chief Clinical Officer at South Coast Health, with an important message about protecting yourself and your family from COVID-19.
Uma das discussões mais importantes que tivemos durante a pandemia é assegurar que os nossos hospitais não estejam superlotados con pessoas doentes.
Además de usar una mascarilla, lavarse las manos, mantener distanciamiento social y evitar reuniones en espacios interiores.
The year began with the debut of Focus on Learning. Episode 1 was a profile of the turnaround plan for a previously underperforming school.
So I asked you to rip out page 133 and put it on your clipboard. You can look at that while we're doing this problem. I want you to try number 4 on your own, and you're going to show me the work using the one-way classroom.
I think the approach has to be, you must change your approach to meet the needs of the kids in front of you today. We do a great thing every August with the staff. We say, what are those classical things that were great teaching 100 years ago, 50 years ago, that will never go out of style? We need to keep doing those things. Those are classical ways of teaching. What are things that are just outdated? Maybe they worked 50 years ago, but they don't work in today's world. We need to stop doing those things. And what are the innovative, creative, new practices that we can learn about and start doing to help students succeed in today's world?
Your child's education is important to us. That's why New Bedford Public Schools and New Bedford Cable Network have teamed up to bring you Focus on Learning. These short school lessons are geared toward elementary and middle school students to keep an active educational environment going in your home during the COVID-19 pandemic. You'll find subjects such as math, science, ELA, and health that follow New Bedford Public Schools' packet plan. Tune in to Focus on Learning on Educational Access Channel 9.
During COVID, the superintendent did a weekly update to keep parents and students informed on the latest school developments.
Also, beginning June 1st, through a coordinated strict plan, students and staff may be able to collect items from classrooms and lockers. Your school will share the individual time and collection process. If you have any questions, please contact your school directly and they'll be able to assist you with that.
The school department relied heavily on the Bedford Cable Network to produce several virtual programs, including the New Bedford High School graduation and tours of the middle schools for incoming students.
I am in the location where you will be dropped off and where you will enter every morning when we come back in September. Behind me is the auditorium where our 7th and 8th graders will enter. And down the hallway is where we'll go as a 6th grader, where you'll proceed up to the 3rd floor.
So when you arrive to school at Normanton, there are 2 different ways to enter the building. There's one side if you get dropped off or if you walk to school, and another if you take a bus to school. Right here, we're standing on Harwich Street, which is the side of the building that you'll come in if you're dropped off or if you walk to school. We'll have staff right at these doors to help guide you into the building and to help you find your way to your homeroom.
I'm Ms. Coelho. I'm the headmaster at New Bedford High School, and we wanted to take the opportunity today to not only welcome you to our school, but to give you a sort of a virtual tour.
So I'm in one of our T hallways that has two-way traffic. It's really important that you mind the arrows on the floor and stay to the right. If I need to use the stairwell to go up, I would go left, and to go down, I would use the right staircase.
When it was decided that a traditional high school graduation could not be, the school department came to us for help in producing a virtual program. It was a live Facebook event that had nearly 17,000 views.
Please welcome our headmaster, Miss Bernadette Coelho.
Good evening, Mayor Mitchell, Superintendent Anderson, members of the New Bedford School Committee, school and district administrators, teachers and staff, our families watching from home tonight, and most importantly, you, the graduating class of 2020.
Alyssa Adams, Jaden Adesso, Youssef Ahmed.
High school sports returned in the fall. With no fans being allowed in the stands, people were able to view the games live on our Facebook page.
Middle of the floor, and Reed could not put one away. And then on the outside, Soares, and that's what you're looking for, a little more of that.
But, you know, if Moratelli and Reed could have that one back,
They were there for the block,
they
but
were
the ball
there
was
easily.
struck
Yeah.
hard enough by Soares. He has
Yep.
4 kills.
Watch there off Reed.
There's Soares. What a blast. It's the postseason here in 2020 with New Bedford playing host to Durfee. Chips it here near side. Guillemette. Durfee is trying everything. Got one in front.
There
and
it
trying
is.
to score.
There it
Codner.
is.
Number 7. Roman Codner got the pass from Guillemette, and he was able to turn Chris and had a great shot to the far post.
In a year where our schools and government were shut down, New Bedford Cable Network had its busiest year.